He's a golf prodigy who smashes the color line to become a hero for an entire generation.
Tiger Woods.
A win for the ages.
Probably every African-American who was there at the time remembers so much about that day.
Nobody dominated golf like Tiger Woods dominated golf.
I'm here to win, and that was his mantra.
But at the top of his game, a dark past and a secret life threatens it all.
She took a golf club and went after him.
I need an ambulance immediately. I have someone down. They hit a pole.
It was one of the biggest crises in sports history.
I was unfaithful. I had affairs. I cheated.
Tiger set himself up to conquer the world, and he hurt a lot of feelings along the way.
Spiraling out of control, his substance abuse leads to a collision with the law. But on the course, Tiger can't be stopped.
People were saying he was done, he was through, but it's not a good bet to underestimate Tiger Woods.
I've always figured that why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try and win? There's really no point.
He just captured the attention of everybody.
Everyone knew how good Tiger was as soon as he stepped on the course.
The 1994 U.S. Amateur Championship. Tiger Woods walks on to the big stage. Insiders immediately see he's next level. An 18-year-old phenom with a deadly swing and laser focus.
Great job, John.
I'm Thomas Bonk. I was the golf writer at the LA Times for about 25 years. I met Tiger when he was a kid, actually, and I knew that this guy was going to be different. Just the whole aura around him was amazing.
Tiger was such a prodigy, such a prodigy.
Expectations are huge, but Tiger is unproven.
This to win the hole, a birdie putt for Tiger.
Got it.
Tiger makes the largest comeback in the history of the amateurs.
Got it. Tiger Woods, the youngest amateur champion in history.
The stuff he did was unearthly. Gary McCord, CBS Sports, 34 years, got to watch Tiger Woods at his height.
He is definitely the best teenage golfer in the history of this game.
Tiger goes back to back to back, winning 3 amateur championships in a row, a record.
The whole world of golf was taken aback and basically afraid because there was a serious new talent on the horizon.
The buzz becomes a roar.
Speed is in. Are you serious?
It was absolutely amazing, and he was already almost a finished product.
It's a breathtaking debut.
I'm Robert Lucenich. I started writing about golf in 1996 at the Masters, and lo and behold, who was a young amateur there, played with Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. And Jack, after that round, said, this guy will win more green jackets than Arnie and I combined. And of course, that got the attention of a lot of people.
What makes Tiger tick is winning, and what all goes with it.
He wanted to beat guys, and anytime you'd say, how you expect to do this week, Tiger says, I'm going to win. That's what I'm here for.
Tiger Woods smashes records on the course, blasting through an unspoken color divide plaguing a lily-white sport.
He was the first black person that I'd ever seen playing golf who was an amazing champion.
It's no accident. Tiger was groomed for success. Tiger's father, Earl Woods, handcrafts his son into a golfing god.
Earl created Tiger. He created a phenomenon. That was his invention.
Right now, I'd like you to meet Tiger Woods and his father, Earl Woods.
That was Earl's vision. From when Tiger was 2 and was on the Mike Douglas show, hitting balls, you knew that something special was happening.
How about a putting contest with Mr. Hope? Can he putt too? Oh, yes. Okay, well, let him putt first. Why don't you try? Well, we got to give you one more try now.
Wrap it right in there.
Just tap it right in there.
Earl Woods was a Green Beret in Vietnam, and he raises Tiger with the tough love of a drill sergeant.
He learned from his dad, who used to step in his line when he's lining up a putt, or jingle coins in his pocket, or talk loudly while he's getting ready to putt.
He has that rare competitiveness that
extra gear.
Tiger's parents see him as nothing less than a child of destiny. It's a torch that Tiger picks up and proudly carries.
Since I'm black, it might be even bigger than Jack Nicklaus. I might be even bigger than him. I might be sort of like a Michael Jordan in basketball.
Tiger grows up in a bubble created by his father, built to mold him into a perfect golfer. But Tiger's life at home is troubled. He can't keep his family's secrets bottled up and tells friends that his dad is cheating on his mom. As he comes of age, he gets a glimpse of the outside world and somewhere to escape to.
Dina Parr, who was his girlfriend in high school, she was his connection to a normal life. And I think that he felt through her that he had some teenage years, that high school years that most people just take for granted.
Tiger enrolls at Stanford on a full scholarship. But when he comes home, he stays with his high school sweetheart, not with his parents. His father isn't happy with this arrangement and tells his son to break it off or he's out of the house.
She had to go, and she sort of became roadkill in a way because she just wanted him to be normal.
In an ice-cold letter, Tiger ends his relationship with Dina Parr. Earl has a stronghold on his son, and Tiger's upbringing is anything but normal. But his singular drive towards golfing pays off in massive dividends.
I guess hello world, huh?
Tiger turns pro.
First tournament as a professional, Tiger Woods.
The money just came pouring in because corporations were falling over themselves to be associated with this hot new golfer that was taking the world by storm.
Nike signs Tiger Woods for an unprecedented 5-year, $40 million deal. It's a huge gamble on the next sports megastar.
Tiger could sell anything, and Nike knew it.
Cereal, video games, cars, watches. Tens of millions of dollars of endorsements pile up. Ad agencies get to work with Tiger.
And I said, go ahead and aim for the camera.
The director put the camera a long way away, and Tiger hit it on the first try and smashed the lens.
You said to try and hit the camera.
That was the kind of introduction that he had, and of course the Nike jumped on it, and they did a very, very good job of selling him to the whole world.
I'm Tiger Woods. I am Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods.
You knew how good he was, and then when you saw the sponsors just kind of lining up to get a piece of Tiger, you pretty much knew that this was different.
The question was, could he do it against the pros? Could he beat the best players in the world?
It only takes him 2 months to win his first PGA tournament. But he still faces his biggest test. He arrives in Augusta, Georgia, with determination and a dream. It's the World Series of golf, the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, the proving ground for golf's greatest, the Masters. The winner wears a green jacket, but a person of color has never worn it. It seems like some folks would like to keep it that way.
The Masters is built on a plantation, so it's got had a certain reputation, maybe not being the friendliest place for black folks.
So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? Pat him on the back, say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it.
The history of the Masters, there was a checkered past. The caddies were all black, the members were pretty much all white.
Tiger Woods turned professional last August and has already won 3 PGA Tour events. But his Masters begins with an errant tee shot.
All eyes are on Tiger Woods. He's poised to turn tradition on its head, but he gets off to a rocky start.
You're going to get some bad breaks in a golf tournament. I don't care who you are. You'll get some bad breaks. The question is, how are you going to deal with them?
Tiger roars back. He takes a 9-stroke lead with 1 day left to play. It's a mind-boggling performance. The buzz spreads beyond sports. Millions around the world tune in.
I remember when he's teeing off on the last day, the first tee was very much near the clubhouse back entrance, and most of the wait staff were black. And when he was teeing off, you could see every single person who was a server there stop if they were carrying a tray or doing whatever, they would stop and see what Tiger was doing. It was a really interesting and really chilling moment.
A rhapsody of total appreciation and awe that a virtuoso performance like Augusta has never seen. There it is, a win for the ages.
He didn't just win, he demolished everybody.
Tiger Woods shatters course records and crushes historical barriers.
Everybody was pulling for Tiger. Probably every African American who was there at the time remembers so much about that day.
Something you always dream of.
It was almost like a coronation or a changing of the guard from the old guys to the new guys, you know, from a Model T to a Ferrari, from a biplane to a Concorde.
For the first time, a person of color will wear the green jacket.
The 1997 Masters is the one event that changed everything. You've got a golfer of color going to Augusta National in the Deep South and winning the most prestigious golf tournament on the planet.
Tiger Woods becomes a champion to black Americans, and Oprah invites him to speak about his accomplishments.
Growing up, I came up with this name. I'm a Cobblinasian.
A Cobblinasian.
Caucasian, blue, black, Indian, Asian. Cobblinasian.
Born to a Thai mother and a black father, Tiger aligns with a broader racial identity. But many in the black community see it as part of a larger strategy by his team to make him brand-friendly.
The handlers around him were always so determined to keep Tiger Woods as almost a cardboard cutout. There wasn't a lot of controversy.
Tiger Inc. is built on a simple philosophy: win. The groundbreaking golfer takes 4 consecutive major titles. No one's done it before. They call it the Tiger Slam. He's at the pinnacle of his game when he meets Elin Nordegren, a Swedish former swimsuit model and the nanny of his PGA rival. 3 years later, they marry, while Tiger dominates pro golf, becoming the highest-paid athlete in the world.
One of the reasons why he was able to ascend and make over $100 million a year in product endorsements was because he had all the intangibles. He had the greatness. He had the uniqueness. He was going against the grain, and I think that's the reason why Tiger was so effective in that role.
With deep pockets and international fame, Tiger Woods enjoys the high life. Out of the spotlight, it's a world of temptations.
The first time I met Tiger Woods was in 2004. I just got done working at a charitable organization in Las Vegas. We had a big celebration in the Bellagio, and he just happened to be there partying with some friends.
He's married, he's a new father, but Tiger Woods can't hold himself back.
We met up, hung out the night, and then I ended up going back to his hotel room. I stayed the night with him. The next morning, I gave him one of my business cards, and I didn't expect to hear from him.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It seems like a one-night stand, but soon it's something more.
Came up as a blocked number, and I immediately got up from my desk and just walked away real quick and talked to him for a few minutes, and that's when he told me that he wanted to see me the following weekend.
On the PGA Tour, Tiger Woods is unstoppable. He's on pace to demolish records that were once untouchable.
Oh, wow! In your life have you seen anything like that?
The world wants to know about the golf wizard at the top of the sport. But to talk to Tiger, you have to go through one man, his father, Earl.
Dealing with Earl, it was always a story because he was a roller coaster of a guy. He talked in proclamations and he would make statements, but he was really a whirlwind.
You think he is given some special destiny by God Almighty?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm. His father, at one point, compared him to Gandhi in terms of the kind of impact that he was going to have on society.
Earl Woods is a constant presence wherever Tiger goes. But as Tiger gets stronger, his father becomes the weak link.
Statements about being the next Gandhi, which he I think he cringed at, frankly, as he got older. He didn't want to hear that stuff because it was uncomfortable for him.
Earl's liability factor grows. Tiger's mother files for divorce. The Woods home is now Earl's sleazy den, porns on 24 hours a day. He's even accused of pressuring assistants for sex. As the Tiger brand expands, suddenly there's one less member on Team Tiger.
Tiger thought that he needed something a little bit more professional, and that was really tough on Earl. I know it was. His son was kind of almost cutting him loose.
In the spring of 2006, Tiger gets a call, come home. He rushes to see his father one last time.
I was there with him. It was at his house in California, and he received a phone call from his mom, who was pretty frantic because his dad was not doing very well. So he left to go see him at the hospital. He came back hours later, and I could tell that things were not going any better. And later that evening is when we received the phone call around 4 a.m. that he had passed away.
Tiger loses his biggest fan and his greatest mentor.
Tiger was unbelievably affected by losing his father. He called him Pops. Many times, Tiger would refer to Earl as his best friend.
2 months later, he's back at the British Open.
He played the British Open at Hoylake, and he won. And he was absolutely ecstatic, but he was also heartbroken. He absolutely melted in his caddy, Steve Williams' arms, and cried uncontrollably. It was an unbelievably wrenching moment.
It's another stunning moment for the sport. A golf superstar wins one for his late father.
And there's emotion there because I'm sure he's thinking of his father who died earlier this year.
An army of new golf fans feel for their hero in mourning. The tears are real. But behind the scenes, Tiger finds escape in a double life.
It was a weekly thing. If he wasn't flying out to Las Vegas, then I would either fly out to California. And we did go to those lavish dinners, nightclubs, party scenes. There were a bunch of other celebrities around, other athletes. He would gamble, playing blackjack. They played a lot of roulette, just living that higher lifestyle. I do feel like Tiger was coming to me for emotional support. The further we got into it, I would obviously want to know, what is your wife doing? Why are you not with her? Like, why are we still dating?
It's not just one sultry affair that Tiger Woods hides. He's living like an emperor. In luxury Vegas suites, he parties with 10 women at a time. But out on the PGA Tour, there's no signs that Tiger Woods is distracted. He's held the #1 ranking in the world for more than a year. And in the media, he's only getting more and more attention. He's not just golf's Jackie Robinson. He's the most dominant player that's ever played.
It was predominantly white country club sport before Tiger showed up. And he, overnight, changed that. He made it cool, he made it interesting, he made it hip, and brought an entire new audience to golf.
He came along, and he's doing stuff I've never seen. Ever. And the fellow announcers had never seen. And our job is to go paint a picture and tell you why and how he's doing that. I had no frickin' clue how he was doing some of the stuff.
I go in. It is in.
Tiger Woods racks up more and more PGA wins. But as he smashes records, he's crushing his body. His left knee is his first nemesis.
Tiger had an incredibly violent swing, and that's where he created a lot of his power and drove his legs. But his left knee ended up taking a lot of punishment.
And, you know, after a certain period of time, your body breaks down. It's just part of the deal.
April 2008. Tiger Woods has surgery to repair cartilage in his left knee. He's forced to take a 2-month layoff.
When you're dealing with high-level athletes of this mentality, they're used to being on top of the world. They don't like to be told no, and they don't like to take it easy.
Still recovering from knee surgery, Tiger pushes himself harder. He develops 2 stress fractures in his left tibia and tears his ACL. He needs rest.
Very difficult to kind of push through and to really play at a normal level. His body's just simply not ready yet.
Plagued by a growing litany of crippling injuries, Tiger enters the 2008 U.S. Open.
His leg was in bad shape. His doctors told him he can't play, and he said, not only am I going to play, I'm going to win.
On the first day of play, Tiger fights through visceral pain.
Tiger played with 2 stress fractures and a torn ACL. Many people thought he should not have played.
After 2 days of play, he's tied for a dismal 27th place. And then it gets worse. Tiger's injured leg gives out. Tiger Woods limps forward at the 2008 U.S. Open. He's fighting searing pain in his left leg.
He's dragging his leg around, and we all remember he had hit it, and every time if he get that knee in the wrong position, whack, he would just go to the ground.
He's basically playing on one leg.
But on day 2, Tiger makes a miraculous comeback. He finishes the day on top of the leaderboard.
I don't know what he's made of, but it's not brittle. He is made of cement or concrete or strong will.
Playing on one leg, Tiger forces a playoff on the final hole and then wins it all in spectacular fashion.
He literally had a broken leg and won the U.S. Open. That just kind of redefines everything. All conjecture stops there with how much are you willing to go through to win.
2 days later, Tiger concedes to his injuries. He'll have reconstructive surgery on his ACL.
The ACL injury, honestly, I think it was a warning more than anything that he needed to strengthen his body.
Tiger trains obsessively to rehab his left leg, but he also adds strength.
Discomfort is part of the journey, and will add more fuel to the fire to really want him to get back on that course.
After just 6 months of rehab, Tiger Woods returns to the Pro Tour. He's bigger, stronger, but he's also more ferocious than he's ever been. The old Tiger is back.
A storybook comeback win on another comeback Sunday for Tiger.
In his mind, the work ethic was even more important than the talent. He didn't take any days off. He worked as hard as anyone in the game, even though he was the best player.
When Tiger Woods arrives in Melbourne for the Australian Masters, he's all business.
Was with some of his Tiger's inner circle, and they were saying things. They were giving me little hints like, the boss is doing some stuff he shouldn't be doing. I don't know. He might be getting into trouble. He might be becoming a bad boy.
Behind the scenes, he's spotted with an unknown woman, but the world's most notorious gossip rag knows exactly who it is.
The Inquirer sends a reporter to Melbourne. Then when she gets into the elevator to go to the penthouse suite, the reporter waited for her to press that button, and he said, I know where you're going, I know who you are, and I know what you're doing here. And that was essentially how it began to unravel for Tiger Woods.
The mystery woman is Rachel Yucatel. She's one of a growing number of women Tiger is seeing outside his marriage.
She would put together parties for elite athletes and celebrities, and she knew a lot of young girls, and at that point in his life, Tiger enjoyed the company of a lot of these young girls, and after a period of time, she became one of his regular affairs.
Meanwhile, Tiger cruises to victory at the Australian Masters.
I've had a great time, are you kidding me? This has been absolutely phenomenal.
But he's losing a battle behind the scenes. The article comes out. It's a match he loses. Tiger can't stop the publication of a scandalous story. But he convinces his wife of 5 years it isn't true.
Elin was very much the sort of person that believed that the tabloids printed lies, and so if there were stories, she just wouldn't believe them. And of course, he encouraged that.
Tiger takes the lie one step further.
Rachel Yucatel's idea, and it was quite clever, was that she would tell Elin that this story was coming out and it's all a lie, and she spoke to her, and Elin was willing to accept that it was just another tabloid lie.
It's Thanksgiving. The storm seems to have passed.
On Thanksgiving Day, they eat early, and Tiger decides to leave and go to the clubhouse at Isleworth in Orlando and have a few drinks, play cards, and shoot the shit with the boys. When he returned, it was late at night, and he had had a few drinks, and he got a phone call. Elin was wondering who would be calling him at that late hour on Thanksgiving. When he went to bed, she picked up his phone, and she decided to call that number back. Rachel Uchitel has a very raspy, smoky, distinctive voice, and who says, "Yes, I thought you went to sleep." It was Rachel Uchitel, and Elin then said, "I knew it was you."
His wife now knows the Enquirer story is true.
From what I understand, she took a golf club and destroyed every trophy in his trophy room, went after him, threw the phone at him, chipped his tooth. He lived his life in a very compartmentalized way, and he tried to control each of those boxes and not let them touch. And then, of course, when they did touch, it was just an implosion. He was very groggy and tried to run away, got into the car, but fell asleep as he was trying to back out. And that's where the neighbors found him.
I need an ambulance immediately. I have someone down. They hit a pole.
Okay, now are they trapped inside of the vehicle?
No, they're laying on the ground now.
This was a story that was going to sell newspapers. It had the public's attention, and the public wanted more of it.
Media swarmed Tiger Woods' home. The world wants answers from the most talented golfer in the history of the game.
According to authorities, Woods' wife Elin told them she smashed out the back windows of his SUV to pull her husband out.
Once Tiger was enveloped by the scandal, he didn't know how to deal with it.
His marriage to Elin Nordegren explodes.
72 hours after the story hit the stands, Woods' car crash turbocharged his personal life into a national sensation.
Tiger's secret escapades are plastered all over the news, one lurid story after another.
People in the Tiger camp were, I'm not exaggerating, wandering around with brown paper bags full of cash to give to women in exchange for their silence and their phones and laptops and any evidence they have that they were with Tiger.
Can you please take your name off your phone? My wife went through my phone and maybe calling you.
Though Tiger's team tries to block any and all salacious stories, they can't keep up the sheer volume of what's being reported.
At that time, I said, I'm not going to say anything. I have nothing to say. And I woke up to the National Enquirer being out, and immediately my phone started ringing, and people wanted to know what I was going to do. By that point, people already knew my name. I already had paparazzi outside my door wanting to know what my side of the story was. It was either I leave it at what he had said to the media or actually come out and say something.
The Sun can reveal his former mistress is penning a tell-all book about her affair with a sporting superstar.
There were just too many women that came out of the woodwork, and Elin just, in the end, could not forgive him. And Tiger made a huge effort to try to save the marriage, but in the end, it was not salvageable.
The assault on Tiger's reputation is unrelenting, in the news, in the tabloids, and on late-night TV. His picture-perfect character is pulled apart thread by thread.
Earlier today, I had an unfortunate incident with my golf clubs.
He knew people were laughing at him, and he was the butt of jokes.
Companies are going to look at this and say, well, we don't want our customers to think that we are aligning with this individual, no matter how great he is as an athlete.
Sponsors that made Tiger the wealthiest athlete in the world abandoned him one by one.
We saw a lot of endorsement deals go away. According to some reports, apparently some of the shareholders at these major corporations lost between $5 and $12 billion as a result of his personal activities.
The golf legend goes into full damage control, entering a sex addiction clinic.
Now
going for inpatient treatment for 45 days and in more outpatient treatment. I'm getting back to my old roots.
I feel like Tiger's sex addiction started when he lost his father and he was trying to fill a void in his life.
Questions about his self-destructive behavior only multiply. How did he become an out-of-control sex addict? Tiger is forced to face some uncomfortable truths from his childhood.
When Tiger was a young boy, Earl would give golf lessons, and he would end up in this Winnebago that he had at the driving range, and oftentimes would disappear in there with a woman. And even though it really broke Tiger's heart that Earl cheated so often on Tiger's mother, in the end, he became his father. And he had all kinds of extramarital affairs.
The truth about his childhood trauma is revealed. His father may have trained Tiger for golfing greatness, but for many, it was his bad influence that crippled Tiger's ability to have healthy relationships. And when Tiger is released from the clinic, he makes a public apology.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
The once shining athlete hopes for forgiveness and a fresh start, but the collateral damage multiplies. Tabloids tie his longtime caddy, Steve Williams, to his scandals.
A stripper in Las Vegas had said that she had partied with Tiger and Steve Williams, and he said, "It's not true. I never did that. I never went to Vegas with him."
Williams isn't just Tiger's caddy. He's a friend and a father figure. But when Williams asks for help, Tiger walks away.
He felt that Tiger needed to clarify that he had nothing to do with this. And that just was going to open a can of worms that Tiger did not want to open. And Tiger was never going to do it.
Basically, you could say I've wasted 2 years of my life.
With a new caddy and his demons behind him, Tiger heads back out on the PGA Tour. But the caliber of his play isn't what it used to be. His ranking falls from number 1 to 58.
His play suffered. The longer Tiger didn't play well, the worse it got. And there were, jokes and heckling at tournaments.
And he becomes a target, a punching bag the media pummels relentlessly. Most of the fodder Tiger's provided himself, but some of it is blatantly racist.
Garcia teed up a major controversy that has some calling racism. When jokingly asked Tuesday night if he would invite Woods over for dinner at an upcoming tournament, he said, "We will have him round every night. We will serve fried chicken."
Distractions multiply and Tiger's slump worsens. Golf's greatest can't get his game back.
Golf is a sport that you cannot play with doors slamming in your head. And that's what was going on with Tiger. There was a lot of doors slamming in his head.
While Tiger flounders, his ex-wife Elin moves on easily. She's the valedictorian of her graduating college class.
I was married without children. Today, 9 years later, I'm a proud American and I have 2 beautiful children. But I'm no longer married.
Tiger fights mental demons, haunted by mistakes from the past. But he's also plagued by injuries, old and new.
These injuries start to pile on. It's very taxing, it's very exhausting.
He drops out of one tournament after another. And when he's on the course, he plays through visible pain.
Tiger Woods has the ability to just focus and almost not even worry about the pain.
In April 2014, Tiger has back surgery, the first of 5.
Each of those surgeries, there was always the potential of a return, but there was the potential that he would never play again.
Undergoing one risky surgery after another, Tiger fights to compete, but it's a losing battle. And though it seems he's hit rock bottom, there's still further to fall. May 2017, a Florida police officer finds a car on the side of the road. Inside, he finds Tiger Woods asleep at the wheel.
Hey, do you know where you're going? No.
There was no alcohol in his system, but he had taken a number of pills.
Are you okay? What's wrong? What are we doing?
He wasn't taking him to get stoned. He was taking him because he was hurting.
I'm placing you under arrest for suspicion of driving under the influence.
Tiger's mugshot goes viral.
Everyone in the world saw that photograph. Here was a man who had conquered the world and was just one of the greatest athletes of all time. And this is what he's reduced to.
Today is May 29th, 2017. I have arrested and charged Eldrick Tiger Woods.
He could have easily died if he was, veering into the wrong lane and he hit another car head on. Unfortunately, that probably would have been the end of Tiger Woods. Thankfully, it wasn't.
Rocked by scandal and torn apart by injuries, Tiger Woods has fought hard to keep his standing in pro golf. But a DUI sinks him into the ground.
Certainly, I thought there's no coming back from this.
His image had kind of been slipping for a while and had been. So I don't think people were maybe that surprised.
He was a Superman in some ways, and here he is, just a guy in a police tank looking at DUI charges. I mean, fall was such a huge fall.
Tiger pleads guilty for driving under the influence. It's a new low for one of the greatest athletes on the planet.
So many people were saying he was done, he was through, he's never going to win again.
Part of what makes Tiger Tiger is that he has this incredible ability and determination to fix the things he can fix. He went to rehab, he cleaned himself up, and he gave it another shot.
He was ravaged by injuries. And when you get that many injuries, you can't get any kind of momentum going in your golf game.
April 2019, the Masters. Tiger's worn the green jacket 4 times, but this year, he's a long shot.
Everybody said he was done and he couldn't do it, and he couldn't do it physically. Could he do it mentally? Nobody knew it.
Tiger was in pain at the Masters in 2019. There's no question about it. He had recently 4 back surgeries and a spinal fusion, but I learned a long time ago, it's not a good bet to underestimate Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods has the lead. The impossible has become possible.
Tiger pulls ahead. The world tunes in to witness what could be the greatest comeback in sports history.
I was fortunate enough to be by the green on the 18th hole as he walked up, and they chanted his name like it was a football game. And it was just this cauldron of emotion and support and cheering, and I thought, wow, I don't think this place has ever seen anything like it, and may never see anything like it again.
The return to glory.
Tiger overcomes ridiculous odds, locking up an unlikely victory at the 2019 Masters. It's a historic 15th major title.
A lot of people thought he was over. The Tiger Woods era was over. And in 2019, he proved it wasn't.
You get to a point in the superstardom that they expect you to do stuff like that. That's Tiger's realm. That's where he lives.
By early 2021, Tiger Woods was no longer the same guy from 2019 that had won the Masters. He didn't look the same. He did an interview in the middle of the Genesis Open.
You feeling all right? I'm feeling fine. I'm a little bit stiff.
He was high as a kite. He looked like terrible.
It's 3 years after Tiger's stunning victory at the Masters.
He's reportedly driving relatively fast, and something happens, and he loses control.
He has this car accident, and he almost dies. Things were getting out of control.
We have a rollover with someone trapped. I'm going to need a unit to accompany the ambulance.
After a horrific car accident, Tiger Woods is rushed to Harbor UCLA Medical Center.
The severity of this injury cannot be underappreciated. He could have possibly lost his foot.
Tiger suffers serious injuries. Miraculously, he recovers.
This remains an accident. Accident is not a crime.
There was no evidence of braking throughout this collision.
We never really found out what happened. We still don't know what happened because the LA County Sheriff shut the book on that whole case.
I would say 99.9% of people after this injury are never the same person.
He had to learn to walk again. It was almost impossible to imagine him coming back as anything but a ceremonial golfer.
I think Tiger is a story of comebacks, whether it's his personal foibles or his exploits on the golf course, coming back from injuries, coming back from things he shouldn't have come back from, winning when he shouldn't have.
The legend of Tiger Woods is the ultimate comeback story. But in his wake, he leaves behind a trail of broken lives of the women he discarded.
Tiger gets to win awards and win his different tournaments, and he gets to come out of things and have mishaps and get up again, and people want to cheer for him. But, you know, the women don't get that so much, and that's not really fair.
When everything happened in the media, my first reaction was to numb myself. On my journey of my drug addiction, I was arrested numerous times, and I went to multiple rehabs. I have been clean for 4 years, and it was 4 years in May.
Tiger Woods can't erase the past, but he's found a way to turn the page and start fresh.
His son, Charlie, is into golf, and from what I hear, is just as obsessive about it and determined and wants to be a golfer like his dad.
It couldn't have been more special for me to have both my kids in a tournament like this.
One question lingers: can Tiger Woods win a pro tournament again?
I won't put anything past Tiger because he's just shown you that he can prevail through anything. He could be playing on one leg and using one arm, and it wouldn't surprise me if he were to win a tournament.
Everything on him is broken, and he's still trying to play. So God loving it is, he loves the game that much.
I haven't done this in a long time, so it was fun to feel that again.
I think that once in a generation is probably selling Tiger short. I mean, I personally think he's a once in a century kind of an athlete, because everything that he did to levels that had never been done before.
He was the alpha dog without a doubt on the golf course, and today he is revered by all the players. They seek advice, so he is a presence, whether he's out there playing or not.
They should build a statue to him at the PGA Tour. I mean, there's no one like him in golf, has ever been.